everybody, welcome back to CricTracker special show in the air with me, Nivedna Prabhu. I hope all of you are doing well and keeping safe, which is the most important thing right now. But of course, we're discussing everything to do with the World Test Championship final. बहुत सारा excitement है, सारी predictions भी करने हैं और आपके questions भी लेने हैं. तो अगर आप कोई questions पूछना चाहते हैं हमारे in-house special guest को, तो आप ask hashtag use कीजिए and use ask CricTracker and send in your questions. And of course, our experts are going to be answering it. But before we get into everything related to the World Test Championship final, let me quickly call on our special guest. For beginning, let's just call in Rakesh Deva Reddy, who is, of course, a cricket coach as well as an analyst. He, of course, has probably had the highest success rate of making predictions. So I'm definitely looking forward to those. Rakesh, welcome back on the show. Great to see you. What is the mood looking like for today?
Firstly, thank you very much. So everybody will be excited for the reserve day between India and New Zealand. But to be very realistic, draw is something which is on the cards. But New Zealand will have better chances, I would say. And the Indian batsman Virat Kohli and Cheteshwar Pujara has to really play well first 1.5 hours. Because realistically, it's too hard for India to set a target for New Zealand. Because if you look at all the days, the run rate is very close. And just over 2 runs per over during all these days. And this being the last day, and you're playing at the biggest event, World Test Championship finals, so India might not take that extra risk. So I think that is going to happen in today's play.
Well, it's definitely a neck-to-neck competition, which we've been seeing in whatever couple of days they've played in between the weather. We'll also be taking a look at all of that. But let me call on our next guest, Oman cricketer Sufyan Mahmood, जो बात करने वाले हैं हमसे about what he predicts, of course, for today. But most importantly, जैसे वो बोलते हैं कि उनको result चाहिए in the end of the day, and he also believes that someone should win it after all, after playing for so long. So Sufyan, coming to you, what are you expecting for today?
Hi Nivedna, hello everyone. मैं तो पहले ये चाहता हूँ कि आज बारिश ना हो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, ठीक है. दूसरा ये कि आई होप एज राकेश सेड
बारिश तो नहीं होगा आज बिकॉज़ परफेक्ट है वेदर सुफियान भाई.
They've all become weathermen, right? If अगर हमने कुछ सीखा है या नहीं, but
फोरकास्ट को वहाँ यूके का फोरकास्ट आपको पता है ना, 1 आवर के बाद आप चेक करोगे कुछ और आ जाएगा. आई होप इट डजंट हैपन. जहाँ तक मैच की बात है, आई थिंक राइटली सेड बाय राकेश, लॉट्स ऑफ चांसेस कि मैच ड्रॉ हो जाएगा. लेकिन इंडिया अगर यहाँ पे लाइक फर्स्ट सेशन में अगर रन्स मैनेज करता है कि रन्स बना ले इंडिया, तो देयर इज सम चांस, आई वुड से स्लिम चांस कि इंडिया जो है वो मैच को अपनी तरफ ले सकता है. लेकिन एज ऑफ नाउ मोर चांसेस यही है कि ड्रॉ होगा या तो न्यूजीलैंड जीतेगा. अगर इंडिया आज फर्स्ट आवर अपना बैटिंग का निकाल लेता है तो दे आर सेफ. इफ द फर्स्ट सेशन गोज रॉन्ग देन इंडिया इज इन डेंजर, आई फील.
ओके, सो हमारे दोनों गेस्ट या शायद एक्सपर्ट्स ने ये बताया है कि ऑन वन हैंड ऑफ कोर्स ड्रॉ के चांसेस ज्यादा है, लाइक हाउ सुफियान सेड, इफ दे गेट दैट मोमेंटम इन द फर्स्ट 1.5 आवर्स देन थिंग्स कुड लुक वेरी डिफरेंट. लेकिन आप बताइए हमें, डू यू एग्री विद बोथ आवर एक्सपर्ट्स और डू यू ऑल हैव सम डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ ओपिनियन? Send in your comments and I'm pretty sure they're going to be answering that. So use the hashtag #AskCricTracker. And I will get on our third guest, Gaurav Tripathi, who is a content creator as well as reporter and a very, very optimistic Indian fan. So I really want to know what he's looking forward to from today's game. Are you also of the opinion कि वो draw की तरफ ही जा रहा है?
Yeah, definitely. Two results are possible. Either it's gonna be a draw, or I think the slim chances of New Zealand winning the contest. I don't think optimistic जितना भी हो सकते हैं इंडिया के लिए. I don't think they can win this contest from this moment. Only thing what I can see is like if Rishabh Pant plays like a 70 ball, 120 or 130, which is very unlikely from this wicket. Unless and until if that doesn't happen, I can't see India winning this contest. Most probably it's gonna be a draw. But I think the threat will be the first hour. If India loses more than 2 wickets in the first hour, then they are in danger, and New Zealand will be on the driver's seat to win this contest.
Okay, so it seems like all our three experts are pretty much, voicing the same thing, which is why I want to know from all of you, do you agree with them or do you think something else can happen? Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to have, like how Gaurav spoke about Pant. Probably in these conditions, I don't think that's something that is quite possible. But like I said, everybody wants to be optimistic about whichever team that they're supporting. But most importantly, let's take a quick look at the weather forecast for today, for starters, so that we know where we're standing at with the competition. Great. Super happy to be seeing the sun out over here. Of course, only probably the dip that we see is somewhere around 11 p.m. IST, where it's 13 degrees. But again, it does not, the rain, the word dangerous word rain is not anywhere close, so which is a good thing. So Rakesh, I'll come to you on this. This is of course going to be big advantage in terms of number one, it's not going to be dampening anything to do with the competition today, but also how does that change conditions for both the teams going into play this competition?
Slightly, it might become a little bit advantageous for the batsmen to play a little bit freely than all this 5 days what we have seen. I think slight advantage. I won't say it has an advantage. They might feel a little bit comfortable to play freely and take that extra advantage of scoring runs. But other than that, I really don't see any big changes or any big fancy type of changes from both the teams, I would say. It is just that Indian batting, I don't think even a lot of people are expecting India will be sending Rishabh Pant up the order and set a good total for New Zealand to chase. But to be realistic, I don't think even that is possible, because it is going to be a big gamble if they do that. Yes, if Rishabh Pant comes up and scores some runs, then India will be happy. But otherwise, if the wicket falls quickly, then it is going to be real danger. So I don't think India will look into that option. So just they'll try to play session by session or hour by hour or over by over. That's what I feel India will do with that. But on the other hand, New Zealand will try to really take quick wickets if they can break this partnership between Kohli and Pujara. And then after that, maybe if they can quickly take a couple of wickets, then India will be under danger. So that is something which is possible if New Zealand bowlers can really come up with some different plan to take the wickets of India. Otherwise, we might see some regular cricket on day 6.
So I think we did have that conversation yesterday about whether the strategy here would be aggressive batting. So are you of the opinion that Cheteshwar Pujara would have to probably change a little bit? Or do you think that going into this now they're looking to only save wickets? What do you think from your point of view? What is it going to be like? Aggressive or no aggression?
No, I don't think they'll go aggressive. They'll go with the same thing, whatever, because this is the thing where you have to be realistic and take the decisions which are really possible. Because you have just 1 day of game and you've already lost 2 wickets. And if you lose a wicket, who can really stand over there? And Virat Kohli, who was playing very well in the first inning, I don't think they'll take that aggressive mode, because in the process of that aggressive mode, if you lose the wicket, then obviously you're going into that shell kind of mode. When you don't try to score runs, then you have a more chance of losing the wicket. So if you just stick to your plan, you play the ball, hit the boundaries whenever it is a bad ball, and play to the merit of the ball. That's it. They have to just stick to the simple and basic plan. They'll do with that only. I don't think they'll go aggressive.
Okay. I would want to take a look at the scorecard now so that I can come to Sufyan about, what he thinks is going to be happening in terms of where they left on day 5, of course, where India leads by 32 runs, 249 bowled out for 99.2 overs, of course, and now India is at 64 for 2. But of course, Tim Southee, 2 for 17, one of those bowlers that we had also initially spoken about right from day one, that he could be troubling Indian batsmen. But I also want to take a look at the number of wickets that Tim Southee has to his credit. And then, Sufyan, I'll come to you. Quite interesting to see that most international wickets by New Zealand bowlers so far. Tim Southee stands there proudly behind Daniel Vettori with 601. And of course, counting. तो आप इसको कैसे view कर सकते हैं? Do you think that 2 wickets is going to become, 4, 5, 6? High possibility, because he's managed to trouble the Indian batsmen so far.
Definitely with the conditions favoring the bowlers, we can expect that. And Tim Southee with his experience, आपने कल देखा उन्होंने कैसे दोनों बैट्समैन को, गिल को और रोहित को जो है वो उन्होंने आउट स्विंग कर करके उनका पहले माइंडसेट ऐसा कर दिया कि आउट स्विंग ही कर रहे हैं. एंड देन ही केम अप विद हिज wicket taking delivery. That was the in-swinger in Qatar. So I think definitely he's as we know, he's very experienced, and we can expect a lot more wickets today. जहाँ तक इंडियन बैट्समैन की बात है, they have to make sure that they don't give him wickets. अगर उनको wickets देंगे तो he will of course get more confidence आउट ऑफ स्पेल एंड वो और ज़्यादा डेंजरस हो जाएंगे इंडिया के लिए। तो मेरा ये ख्याल है। लेकिन जहाँ तक एक पॉइंट मुझे ये भी ऐड करना था, आपने जो पिछली राकेश से बात की थी अबाउट इंडियन स्ट्रेटजी, वो ये कि कल विराट कोहली खुद बैटिंग करने आए जब थोड़े ओवर्स बाकी थे, तो दैट शोज दैट ही इज़ नॉट डिफेंसिव। अगर वो चाहते थे वो नाइट वॉचमैन भेज सकते थे, जो उन्होंने नहीं किया। दैट शोज दैट ही हैज़ दैट एग्रेशन इन हिज माइंड, ही हैज़ समथिंग इन हिज माइंड कि उन्होंने ये मैच जीतना है। एंड विराट कोहली जैसा बंदा जो है वो गिव अप कभी इतनी इजीली करता नहीं है, ना अपनी टीम से करवाता है। व्हाट आई फील इज कोई जो अभी वन एंड हाफ आवर है, उसमें इंडियन बैट्समैन आप देखें शायद कि वो स्पेशली कोहली जो है वो थोड़ा सा आई वुड से अपना एग्रेसिव करें, थोड़ा सा, नॉट कम्प्लीटली एग्रेसिव। जहाँ तक पुजारे की बात है, आई एम श्योर ही विल फ्रॉम वन हैंड वो अपनी विकेट रखेंगे। तो काफ़ी ट्रिकी 1.5 आवर होने वाला है। लेट्स सी हाउ इट गोज, बट आई एम श्योर इंडिया इस टाइम पे ड्रॉ का नहीं सोच रहा है। इंडिया विद लीडर लाइक विराट कोहली, उनके दिमाग में यही है कि या तो जीतना है या तो हारना है, ड्रॉ के लिए नहीं सोच रहा होगा कभी।
Gaurav might be a little more optimistic there. I see that little smirk coming in. Gaurav, I'm coming to you now about some great news coming in. ICC, the test rankings with the top 5 all-rounders in test cricket is out. Would you want to take a guess as to who has topped this list?
No, absolutely. I think this was on the cards. This was bound to happen. Ravindra Jadeja, he has been absolutely phenomenal in red ball cricket lately. And we have to look at the names below him, like Jason Holder, Ben Stokes, Ravi Ashwin, and Shakib Al Hasan. These are greats of the game. And I think Ravindra Jadeja, I think last year there was a poll by Wisden or something like that where he was named India's most valuable test cricket in the 21st century. So yeah, he has been doing a phenomenal job, not just with the bat, not just with the ball, but the way he contributes in the field. He's just a live wire. So I think he is nothing short of a captain's delight, and that's the reason he's at the top of such a prestigious ranking, ahead of people like Stokes, Holder, Ashwin, and Shakib Al Hasan.
We're pretty sure Manjrekar is sitting there somewhere planning, what he should be tweeting next. But Rakesh, I want to come to you on that particular question. If we can take a look at the rankings once again, not just Jadeja, even Ashwin has made it to it with 353, points to his credit. Like, Gaurav said, he's of course amongst other players like Jason Holder, Ben Stokes, and of course Shakib Al Hasan as well. How do you view this in terms of, Indian cricketers being? Do you think that there was this talk about this team probably being one of the finest that we've seen in the past couple of years overall? Does that speak volumes of the quality of cricket that Team India has been producing?
Oh, definitely. Without any hesitation or without any doubt, the Indian team is. I mean, the bench itself shows how much strong the Indian team is becoming and how much strength the Indian team has. Even if we look out of the box over that bench strength, there are a lot of players who are not in that 40, 50 list, whatever it is, because there are 24 players in England and the other 20 set of number of players are going to Sri Lanka as well. So after this 40, 45 players, there are a lot of other players who can still manage to get into the Indian team. Given a chance, they are ready to perform. So when there is a better bench strength, when there are players who are back, who are right behind, standing behind you, and if given a chance, they are ready to perform, then obviously who has got that chance, they will be performing really hard so that they can keep up to themselves and they can keep that place and cement that place in the team. So I think that is really helping. The bench strength of the Indian team is really helping the proper 15 or 16 squad to perform better and to come out of their box and really focus on their fitness levels. If a bowler is really a good bowler, even they are trying to concentrate on their batting skills. Because if you look at New Zealand and some other teams, like the better example is like what we saw on the last day, the New Zealand tailenders have done. So, and talking about Ravichandran Ashwin, he's a natural batsman because during his childhood days or even in the domestic cricket, he has batted up in the order. Sometimes even he has opened during his childhood days. So batting is something there in his body. But as an international cricketer, we have known him for his bowling skills, but he is also a capable batsman. More than a batsman and a bowler, he's a very smart cricketer. He knows how to handle the situation. He can change his game plan. We have saw his batting skills in Australia as well, even with England and even previously in the West Indies and all over. So I think because of the bench strength, Indian team is looking very strong, and that is what we are witnessing, having two all-rounders in the top five list in the ICC rankings in Test
Well,
cricket.
of course, speaks volumes of the kind of caliber that Team India has. But before we proceed further, I would like to take a quick look at the weather report once again, so that Sufyan, I can come to you about the pitch report that we have in. So if you can take a quick look at the weather report, the pitch report, of course, that Simon Doyle and Sunil Gavaskar have given is the fact that they still see a little bit of grass, but not as much as yesterday. With the sun beating down, it should ease out nicely for the batsmen. Realistically, it looks like a draw unless India lose wickets quickly. Can't see India trying to press in a manner where they will look to set a target. Lovely day to bat. Nicest day we've had throughout the test, which they're probably agreeing on, should be relatively easy for batting. Probably got a draw written all over it, but it's a funny old game. I like that last line. Of course, everybody thinks it's going to be a draw, but it's a funny old game. So, Sufyan, आपका क्या कहना है? ये pitch report है जो Simon Doyle और सुनील गवास्कर ने अभी अभी दिया है.
डेफिनेटली क्रिकेट जो है ना प्रेडिक्टेबल गेम नहीं है, कुछ भी हो सकता है, लेकिन जिस तरह कंडीशंस हैं, जिस तरह हम देख रहे हैं कि सन इज़ आउट, सो दैट्स अ गुड साइन फॉर द बैट्समैन. मैं यही पिछले मतलब इससे पहले बोलने वाला था. तो इट्स अ गुड साइन, बट इट्स जस्ट दैट लेट्स होप कि इंडिया डजंट गिव अवे अर्ली विकेट्स. अब यहाँ से अगर वो बोल रहे हैं कि दिस इज़ द बेस्ट डे फॉर द बैट्समैन, तो इसका मतलब बैट्समैन अगर आउट होगा तो वो अपनी गलती से ही आउट होगा. अब हो सकता है 1 आवर आपको थोड़ा सा मुश्किल लगे, उसके बाद और ज़्यादा धूप पड़ेगी, और ज़्यादा अच्छा हो जाएगा विकेट. तो इंडिया हैज़ टू मेक श्योर दैट दे डोंट गिव अवे देयर विकेट्स, मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि क्योंकि अब जब कंडीशंस अच्छी हैं तो दे शुड कैपिटलाइज ऑन इट एंड मेक श्योर दैट मैच को लंबा लेके जाएं. एटलीस्ट लंच तक तो उनको खींचना चाहिए, मतलब लंच और उसके बाद भी कुछ 30 से थोड़ा पहले तक बैटिंग करनी चाहिए ताकि पक्का ही ड्रॉ हो जाए. ऐसा ना हो कि पहले विकेट दे दें तो फिर मैच जो है वो ट्रबल फंस जाए. तो आई एम श्योर विराट कोहली, जैसे मैंने बोला था, उनके माइंड में ये सब चीज़ें हैं. एंड स्टिल आई वुड से ही विल नॉट प्ले डिफेंसिव क्रिकेट. उनका हमें माइंडसेट पता है कैसा होता है, तो वो अपनी नेचुरल गेम ही खेलेंगे. बाकी रिजल्ट जो है वो फिर आ ही जाता है. व्हेन यू आर पॉजिटिव यू गेट पॉजिटिव रिजल्ट्स.
In terms of going into this session, what would your predictions be? Of course, you're banking on the partnership to be great. लेकिन आपको probably instead of predictions in terms of numbers, which bowler can really trouble Pujara and Kohli?
आई थिंक जेमसन ही है जो कल भी हमने देखा उनको बाउंस कैसे मिल रही थी और वो कैसे विकेट से हेल्प ले रहे थे. तो ही इज समवन टू लुक आउट फॉर. बट ओवरऑल आल्सो आई वुड से नॉट ओनली हिम, न्यूजीलैंड का जो पेस अटैक है वो क्वालिटी अटैक है. तो इंडिया शुड मेक श्योर कि वो बैट्समैन जो खेल रहे हैं दे डोंट लूज देयर फोकस. आई थिंक इंडिया माइट लूज वन और टू विकेट्स इन दिस सेशन, बट आई होप कि उससे ज़्यादा ना हो और ऐसा ना हो कि बिल्कुल ही कोलैप्स हो जाए, जैसे हमने पहली इनिंग में देखा था कि दे वर इन अ डिसेंट पोजीशन लेकिन एकदम से गिर गए. तो लेट्स होप फॉर द बेस्ट, लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू इट.
Okay, so I think everybody is hoping that partnership does not break. Like, of course, we've spoken yesterday as well that in the first innings, of course, it was Rahani's and Kohli's partnership that everybody was looking forward to, and that kind of changed the momentum of the game thereafter. But I want to come to you, Gaurav. Do you remember on this very day what happened in 2013? Would you like to tell our viewers about it, if you can recollect?
Yeah, I think it was a similar situation. It was rain, it was India in England, and we won the Champions Trophy 2013. I think it was a remarkable day in Indian cricket. MS Dhoni became the first captain to win all the three ICC titles. Now there are four, including the World Test Championship. But at the time there were three. And I still remember it was a 50-over game, but was reduced to 20 overs because of the persistent rain in England. Yeah, it has been a history. Even the ICC finals are not spared from the weather. So
And nothing
yeah,
has
but just
changed.
yeah, nothing has changed. I mean, 8 years down the line, we are in England. India is in England. They are playing a ICC final. Rain is playing a spoil sport. Fortunately, at that day, we got a result. India emerged victorious. Can't see that happening now, but yeah, I think this shows that whatever everything can change, everything can be inconsistent. But rain and crucial matches in England, they have developed a relation over the years, and it will go on till the time cricket is played.
ये तो सदियों से चलता आ रहा है, सदियों चलेगा भी. That's basically what you're saying. Rakesh, I want to come to you quickly before we wrap up. One, of course, is what you're expecting in terms of, the bowlers we've spoken about, but the strategy as well, in terms of Kane Williamson's strategy, probably, if you want to go ahead with that. But before you go into those predictions, do you see Virat Kohli lifting, after all, an ICC championship title today, looking at the coincidence of what happened in 2020?
I mean, like I'm taking this word pretty much all the time during this show today. To be realistic, I don't see that. Maybe, I mean, I won't say that I don't see that, because if it is a draw, both the captains are going to lift it. But
Yeah.
Only Virat Kohli lifting the trophy, it's really hard looking at the conditions. It's really hard.
Okay, so I think we're going to wrap up on that note that one thing is we definitely have our experts giving you their predictions, but on the other hand, always remember they're also giving you realistic scenarios as well, which is very important. So as much as everybody loves the game and they want the team that they're supporting to win, and realistically, if you look at the kind of conditions and of course the weather dampening the spirits, probably out of 5 days, at least 2 days, which is why this competition is headed towards the way it is. Because on the other hand, if you look at it's been a brilliant competition so far. It's pretty neck to neck, and I think that's what is making it so much more interesting. But on that very note, I want to thank all of you for joining me on this show. We're of course going to be back discussing everything to do with the World Test Championship Finals. So see you on the other side. Until then, take care and stay safe.